Hello, thank you for joining us to talk more on Monday. This podcast was started to give a voice to More's mission of making opportunities reachable for everyone and continues today as a way for us to share the mic with like-minded individuals with their own stories to share. Talking More has become our channel for history, mindsets, information you need, and featuring our interns who are learning how to share their voice. Join us on Patreon for our Masterclass with More, hosted by Bria Bradley, as she deep dives with experts on a host of topics key to building your business and legacy. You'll find our founder content hosted by our founder Ariana as part of our Masterclass, where business owners share lessons they've learned while in business. Today, we're sharing with Evgenia Baikova, a leader in executive coaching, to discuss the tangible benefits of professional coaching for leaders at any career stage. Our conversation will cover how to find the right coach, focusing on chemistry and methodology to guide leaders toward a successful partnership. Furthermore, we address the challenge of translating countless leadership assessments into action. Evgenia will move the focus between diagnosis, assessments, 360-degree feedback, to the crucial next step, converting static data into sustainable behavioral change and true leadership mastery. The goal is to shift from self-awareness to strategic self-application. Evgenia Baikova, a renowned mindset strategist and coach, specializes in empowering female entrepreneurs and novice leaders to overcome limiting beliefs and excel in their roles. With over 20 years of cross-industry experience, she offers transformative coaching programs that guide clients through powerful mindset shifts, enabling them to create their desired reality and achieve success. Evgenia's strengths-based approach equips visionary women with practical tools and newfound confidence to make bold, impactful decisions that accelerate their professional growth. As a certified co-active coach, ACC through ICF, and Gallup Strengths Finder practitioner, she delivers a unique blend of industry insight and advanced coaching techniques. Under Evgenia's guidance, clients consistently break through barriers, embrace their leadership potential, and achieve remarkable business growth. Welcome to the show.
Yes, thank you for having me. And actually, I've got my PCC certification, which is level higher than ACC.
Amazing.
Yes, thank you.
We love some letters after the name,
yeah.
right?
A lot of P's, a lot of C's.
Yeah. Well, thank you for being here today. We're very happy to get to talk to you about what coaching means, what it looks like, and how to use it effectively. And I actually went through your Gallup Strengths workshop. It's probably been over a year now that we did that. Yeah, but it was super interesting, especially because I had taken the test previously, but hadn't really dove into my results. So it was very interesting to see what it meant, like down to the nitty-gritty details. And I still think about that, when I'm having difficult conversations at work or deciding how to move forward with some kind of strategy. So it's definitely very effective, and I'm excited to dive into things. So
thank you for sharing that.
Yeah. Yeah, I highly recommend if anyone is interested that you go through the process and you actually dive into the results.
It's not just a regular report, right? It's a tool.
Yeah, absolutely. Based on your specialization in overcoming limiting beliefs, what is the most common limiting belief that you see that holds back female entrepreneurs or novice leaders? And what is one immediate action that they can take to start challenging that belief?
And you are so right. There are so many limiting beliefs. But I think about 2 or 3 that are, showing up like regularly. Sometimes they intervene, or a combination of things. Like, for example, the one that sounds like, I have to figure out everything before I start, before I move, before I make decision.
Yeah.
So I see that a lot. And that also what can combine into that is imposter syndrome is coming. Hey, I'm here and you are fraud, right? Something like that. Another thing is that analysis paralysis, which is so close to I need to figure out everything, right? Because, it seems like you have to know more before you do something, but actually it's about recognition or about accepting, actually I do know, not something, but so many things, even like 50% more, 90% more than others. And it's about you letting yourself to make that decision, right? So immediate action here will be, okay, just sit and think, what do I need to make the next little step? And if you feel that, you have 51% of certainty, just go with that.
Yeah.
Right? 51, not 91, not 80, right? So we're looking just slightly bigger than 50, 51, 52. If you have it, move on.
Yeah. I feel like absolutely people think I'm not quite there yet, so I can't do it. But then you hear, do it scared, do it wrong.
Exactly.
You'll learn more from that.
Yeah, because you know that why we are scared about our next steps, because we are stepping into unknown. And that's the most scariest part of our life, right?
Yeah.
We don't know what will happen to us there, right? How we are going to address what will happen to us, who will be around me. So many moving pieces there, right?
Yeah.
And that's just, knowing that it will be easy for you to take that step. And again, make it little. Like if you think about, okay, I need to develop my business. The first step will be reaching out to one person, sending one message, or creating a post and just push the button.
Yeah.
Yeah, because sometimes, not sometimes, like 99% of times, we high achievers, especially women, we think about our achievements, right? And we are not delivering unless we are getting a golden medal.
Right.
This is something. And that's why we cannot think about small things. And that the small thing is actually your win.
Yeah. Count all your little achievements.
Yep.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah. Because another thing is that your achievements, they're the evidences. The evidences that you can. The evidence that you are capable. That you are here, you are not the accident here, right? You are doing the right things. And when you collect and when you accept and when you know that evidences, imposter disappeared.
Yeah, absolutely. Given your extensive experience with coaching, how would you define transformative coaching? And what would you say are the key difference between a transformative coaching approach and a more traditional form of professional development?
And I also would like to add that there is traditional coaching, which is about doing things differently, and transformative coaching, which is about how you are in that doing. It's about being part, right? So we are talking about how to change the being while you are doing things. So we are not just teaching you how to do things differently. We teach you how to be differently inside your doing. So it is different.
Yeah.
And if we compare that with traditional developmental programs or leadership programs, they usually transfer knowledge. They teach you how. They share some systems, frameworks, which is wonderful, right? Because, well, we need that, especially when we grow. And also, it depends on you. Okay, so how you're going to implement that? Will you just attend the program, get your certificate, put it on the wall, and that's it? Or are you going to implement that, right? And when we combine, for example, developmental programs together with coaching, we are going a layer deeper. We are looking into, okay, so now you know how to do that. Or now you know how to, what to do. So how are you going to do that, right? So that we are going to look at how you behave, how you make decisions, how you would think inside that actions.
Yeah. I really love that because, we were talking in a previous episode about why it's so important to bring your perspective to the table, because what you know, how you think is so unique. Everyone has, lived experiences and different perspectives. And as long as you have the confidence to act on that, you can do so much with it, right?
And thank you for bringing this confidence on act.
Yeah.
Sometimes, well, in many cases, actually, confidence comes after we act.
Yeah.
Right? Because when we act, we are getting evidences. Well, I can do that. I am capable. I am able. Then the moment of confidence is here, right? So, and think about that, because sometimes we feel like she is so confident she was born like that. And this is a lie.
Yes.
Right? So you are getting confidence when you are acting, when you are making decisions. Okay, I will send that. I will go into that tough conversation. I will do that. And start small. Again, start small. Do not push yourself. Do not stretch yourself from the beginning.
Yeah.
You will build your muscle. It's like building muscles. It's like, all the athletes, they are starting small. They're not running a marathon.
Yeah.
Since day one.
Yeah, absolutely. You gain the little skills to be able to build on them to do big things.
Exactly.
I love that. The topic of today's podcast mentions that listeners may have taken 100 different leadership profile assessments in the course of their lives. In your experience, what is the biggest mistake that leaders make after completing an assessment like the Gallup Strengths Finder? And how can they move from knowing their profile, knowing their title or whatever, and utilizing that knowledge effectively?
You mentioned something at the beginning of our conversation that you took Gallup before,
Yeah.
but somehow it was forgotten, right?
Yeah.
But the second time when you've taken that, we went deeper.
Yes.
That's why you still remember that. And you know that how I work with my clients, with individuals and teams, we are not just looking through report, which is important, right? It's important to understand, okay, this is me. This is definitely me. This is questionable.
Yeah.
But another important thing is that, okay, how to see that strengths actually led you to some successes in the past and how you can use them intentionally. So what we do, we bring that data into the real life.
Yeah.
That's exactly what we did at our workshop, right? So we were thinking, okay, so I have this strengths, but I have a gap here. How this particular strengths can strengthen me in that tough conversations where I'm lacking something, right? So, and another thing that we were working on, how I can combine them together to strengthen me. And so another thing is that it goes deeper because, well, it's not just self-awareness. We are taking that awareness into action.
Yeah.
Right. And you think, and you just mentioned that now you think, okay, so how can I be better at that? How, not just better, but well, I'm just, generalizing things. But well, if you are in a project or if you are in something which is actually stressful and well, this is something new to you, you can sit and think, okay, I have this, my top 5, how they can help me. And then you have a strategy, right? Knowing yourself, it's like getting some keys that unlock something that you were dreaming about.
Yeah.
Right?
Can you give me a recent example of when somebody had a breakthrough? They figured out their strengths, what it meant for them, how they could use it, and has anyone shared like an example with you of a moment when they were like, yes, I can use this in this situation?
Yeah, and well, there are so many cases because there are so many aha moments. It's like you are getting back to yourself. You're not mirroring others. You're not chasing someone else's strategies and like to-do lists. I used to work with a client, and she was a subject matter expert, and she struggled a little bit in meetings. And she struggled in a situation when she was called on spot, like, well, Chloe, now you are answering this. So what's your point of view on that?
And they freeze
yes,
up.
And she was just like a frozen. And so many people thought that, well, she's not confident, she's not strong enough, and that subject matter expert title was shaken. But when we started working together, we looked through her assessment and we saw that, okay, she has the strengths that prevents her from speaking up at the meetings. But also that particular strengths help her with her deeper thinking.
Yeah.
So she realized, okay, this is me. I just need some time to process all the information, that I need to weigh all the things that I have in my head. And when she were allowed to have some time to think through, her decisions was the best.
Yeah.
Her decisions were the best one, like best in class. And then we were thinking, okay, so how we can use that, not to fix that, well, she's not like physically able to answer on spot, because, well, all the meetings were like ambush for her.
Yeah.
But how we can be strategically planning that meeting. So we figure out, okay, so before meetings, she was asking for agenda in advance. She was asking about expectations, why they need her in that meeting, and what are the expectations about the outcomes.
Yeah.
That small thing helped her to be seen strategic.
Yeah.
That gave her time so that she can be prepared for the meeting itself. And she changed her behavior in the meeting. So she was the one who was facilitating the meeting. She was asking questions.
That's so smart.
She was delivering some insights. She wasn't the person who couldn't answer on the spot.
Yeah.
So that changed the game. And she's got her confidence back, right? Because, well, she was able to see, okay, I can use what I have. And there's no need to be to pretend that I'm a different person. Well, because it's difficult. It's energy draining. It's impossible.
And we all have something, whether it's being put on the spot in a meeting or, whether it's that deeper thinking that we need, there's some kind of block. We need to take more time with it, or we need to approach it from a different angle. But knowing that is very powerful.
Yeah. It's how you're processing information. It's how you are making decisions. We are so different, and there is no book that can tell us, okay, do this and you will be successful.
Right.
It's self-awareness that you are bringing into actions.
Yeah. As a certified co-active coach and StrengthsFinder practitioner, how do you specifically help a client integrate these assessment results into a day-to-day leadership style and strategic decision making? And, we have already, you've given a great example of this, but, when you have a coaching session and you have these results in front of you, what are your steps to then help people implement them either in their daily lives or in their professional lives?
And it's exactly how I mentioned in that example, right?
Yeah.
So we are doing the same. We are bringing the results into life. We are talking about real situations from the past so that we can see, okay, now I understand why I showed up the way, why I'm doing the things that I'm doing, right? And another thing is that it's not just about naming the things. Yeah, it's about accepting, understanding, and then aiming intentionally. And it's exactly how Gallup structured the conversation. Name it, claim it, aim it.
Yeah.
So I use this simple structure. It's so easy to explain to clients. And then I combine it with coactive coaching, which is, again, about being part, right? So we can go deeper. And that combination helps them to process information. They can think through what happened to them, and they can connect the dots. Okay, so I did that. That's why that happened.
Yeah.
Right? And when they have this opportunity to think through, learning becomes deeper, and that's what coaching is about, right? Deepening the learning. And when we are able to deepen the learning, insight stays longer, and it has a beautiful side effect. When it stays longer, it impacts your next step. Yeah. So the quality of your next steps will be absolutely different.
Yeah, I love that. I think it's so effective to link things to past experiences, real life scenarios, because if you don't contextualize it, it's just kind of, it's too abstract,
And again, it's like, I like that when I talk to someone in describing the things, trying to explain, and someone told me, well, this is data. Yes, it's data about you.
Yeah.
Right? This is who you are, and you just need to sit and think about that. Find some evidences from the past and see how you can implement that in your future projects. And it doesn't matter if we are talking about your personal life or professional life. It's applicable everywhere. Like, you just mentioned the workshop. So I did that workshop for grad students, right? I am working with board directors using the same things, right? But, we are going into that workshop with a different perspective, from a different angle, right? So we were talking about the strategy and how they can bring that strategy to life, knowing who they are.
Yeah.
That changed the entire the approach to work. It was so easy for them to think about actionable steps.
Right.
Because they knew, okay, so we are strong as a team doing these things, but we are struggling with that. How we can bridge that gap, or whom can we invite into that so that they strengthen us.
Yeah, that's really interesting too, because when I did the initial assessment, it was for a workplace that once they had your top result, they would put you in a group of other people that also had those same results. And then you would know, like, these people were strong in this area. These people were strong in this area. So then if there was some kind of project that we needed to be linked on, they'd pull people from these different groups so that the expertise was there, which was really fascinating.
Yeah. And this is such a wonderful approach, because imagine that, there is a tendency when you're a leader, you're looking for people who looks like you.
Yes, absolutely.
Who shares your vision, your values, same background, same upbringing, I don't know, same thoughts.
Yeah.
And if you are with dominating strategic, for example, and you hired the whole team with that, but what about execution? Who will be doing things? Well, they know what to do. They
You've got
see
the planning.
but who will implement the things, right?
Yeah.
So there are so many gaps in that, and that's why leaders in organizations, they're using Gallup, StrengthsFinder, Clifton StrengthsFinder in making hiring decisions too.
Yeah. What would you say are the 3 most critical, non-negotiable criteria that someone should look for when they're trying to find the right coach for them, who aligns with their goals for professional growth and leadership development?
Well, and the first thing is to understand what you want from that relationship, right? This is a very crucial thing, because if you are looking to get a mentor, this is a different conversation.
Yeah.
If you are looking for a transformative coach, what transformation would you bring into your life? So when you have this understanding, then you are paying attention to what certification this professional has, what background, right? So if you're looking into kind of a combination, okay, so I need coaching and mentoring, you will definitely pay attention to bio of that person, right? So what's real experience, right? So for example, if you're looking for executive coach, you will definitely look into the leadership experience, because, well, unfortunately, there are so many people out there who are naming themselves coach, but they have no proper education, no certification, even no experience.
Yeah.
So be careful with that. And of course, all of them, well, I believe that like 99% of them, they are offering the first session for free so that you can feel that. So is it a good fit for you? Is this person provides you with what you're looking for? Because sometimes some coaches, they're so soft, they can encourage you, but they're not challenging you.
Yeah.
But you need both, right? So these are the things that are important to look for. And again, so for example, I just mentioned that if you're looking for a combination of coaching and mentoring, how that coach balance the things. Because sometimes it's so easy to fall into like the other side of that relationship into mentoring, because, well, they have tons of years to share with you and experiences and wisdom, and you know that they know so many things, right? So how are they balancing?
Yeah. It's very valuable to have experience, but I agree. I think I love that you kind of test the waters, right? It's like finding a therapist. You have to be comfortable with them. You have to be able to share things. They have to be encouraging, but they also have to challenge you. Because I have a friend that saw someone for a while, and she was like, she never questions me or makes me think like, did I do the right thing in that scenario? So encouraging is great, but I'm not here to just, be patted on the back, right? I need you to push me too.
Yes, you are so right, because sometimes you see that coaches who are empowering, who are encouraging, but they create dependence.
Yeah.
And the real job of a coach is the opposite thing. How you can grow your own wings and fly.
Yeah.
How you can trust yourself, how you can trust your decisions, how you can trust your skills, how you can question yourself without external help.
Yeah. Would you say that you go into a coaching relationship with the understanding, with the criteria, if you will, that hopefully someday it will end, that they feel like they have the tools to go do it on their own? It won't just be a lifelong agreement?
Yeah. Sometimes it happens, that sometimes people, they just feel something they cannot explain, but they cannot operate like they used to do in the past. They're looking for something. Sometimes it's not easy for them to find words.
Yeah.
Right? So I, as a coach, I can help them. Sometimes they're coming with the agenda, but when we start talking, it seems like, well, there's something different underneath, which is stronger, scarier, bigger.
Yeah.
And that's like 90%, which is fine, right? Because again, this is you learning so many things about yourself. And another thing that sometimes coaching relationship can even what the word I'm looking for, stop earlier because person is ready.
Yeah.
She or he, they got so many things from you, they can fly. But another thing is that they're coming back and I ask my returning clients why.
Yeah.
So some of them are saying, well, you are making my life interesting because you're asking such a deep questions and I grow with you. Others are just saying, well, you know that we are working on some topics, but I also get so many like side effects, like, you know, I started sleeping better and other things. Like I want to continue to be stronger in that. And I hope this is not dependence.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, let's find out why, work through it so that maybe you do feel again like you can leave.
Yeah, sometimes they're coming with a different topic, but also the conversation, like the relationship closed earlier because they're already equipped.
Yeah.
Right. Again, when you are familiar with the process, when you know how to reflect, when you know that how to talk with all the saboteurs in you, well, we have so many.
Yeah.
How you can talk with the leader within, we also have that part of us. Then you are moving faster, and probably you just need a kind of like, you know, like 2-3 sessions, like intervention, you know, to help you see things that you were scared to see.
Yeah.
And then you go.
It is hard to confront some of our, and I wouldn't call them shortcomings necessarily, but places of growth, opportunities.
Yes. Yeah. And sometimes we're stuck in our stories and you cannot go out. It's like, you know, I just shared a post about that. Like when you are sitting in a jar, you cannot read the label.
Yeah. I love that. What a great picture. You emphasize a strengths-based approach, which, you know, Gallup is called the Strengths Finder Assessment. Can you share an example of a client who experienced a significant breakthrough by shifting their focus from fixing weaknesses, like we were just talking about, to leveraging those innate strengths instead?
Well, I shared once, but I have so many. Like, for example, another situation very similar to that, but here we're going to talk about the different strengths. In that example, leader, very quiet in meetings, especially when meetings were heated.
Yeah.
Like, you know, all that vibrant conversation. And she was shutting down like, okay, I will never participate in that.
Yeah, it's hard.
It is. And then we realized she has harmony very high. And, well, if you think about harmony as a talent or theme or strengths, people who has that high, like in their top 5, they're peacemakers.
Yeah.
So it's not about being afraid of a conflict, but it's mostly about looking for common grounds and have that balanced situation. So she was like that. And then we sit together and we decided, okay, it's we're not fixing you. Yeah, you cannot do that for you. You cannot pretend to be a different person. You can, but again, it's a failure. It's a trap. And we were thinking, okay, so how we can turn that harmony into your leadership asset. And she is so good in bringing that common sense. She was so good in balancing situations. She was so good in asking questions. And we brought that. And again, she was so confident. And confidence is coming. You see, like it's another side effect. When you are believing in yourself, when you're using how you are wired actually, not pretending to be someone else.
Right.
Everything is so easier. You're not afraid. You are acting naturally and authentically.
Yeah. And it can push through those tough conversations. And it's so vital to have somebody in the room that can do that, bring the peace, ask questions that are going to bring people together instead of continuing to talk about why they're different.
Exactly.
For novice leaders specifically, what would you say is the role of coaching in building that newfound confidence to make those bold, impactful decisions that you mentioned?
That's a great question because new leaders, sometimes they are like our underserved community, right? They were promoted and ta-da, this is a nightmare. You are now leading your former peers, right?
Yeah.
What to do. And there is a lot of pressure from different directions, like, you were peers, how to show up as a leader, how to prove that you are a good leader. And they are looking for that validation like every second.
Yeah.
So coaching will help them to get the space to think, to slow down a little bit and reflect on their actions and the results that their action bringing, right? This is one part. And another part is, okay, so you as a leader, what type of a leader do you want to be? It's again about being. You know, probably you have heard from me many times. When I was in my certification program, one of our leaders told us, well, we are human beings. We're not human doings. And this is, it's easy to remember. It's easy to remember. But again, it is so important for us to remember how we are in the actions,
Yeah.
who we are in that steps. And that's a great reminder, right? So it's, again, you have so many different experiences. You have your beliefs. Sometimes that beliefs they shape your life. They shape your actions. They shape how you're making decisions.
Absolutely.
So we are taking a step back to see, okay, so this is who you are, and this is whom you want to be.
Yeah.
So how you need to show up as a leader to get there.
Yeah. That's really interesting. And it calls back for me the idea of nature versus nurture. You know, you can learn so many great skills, but at the end of the day, you are who you are. Your nature is inherent. We're born with certain things, certain traits that will always be true for us, regardless of the skills that we learn. It's finding what is our nature and then being able to use that effectively.
Yes, yeah. This is so true because, again, Clifton Strengths Finder, it's about how you were wired. It's about your natural patterns. It's not label. It's not. It's how you think, and it's how you make decisions. It's how you communicate. So when you understand the things, and usually people are looking through their reports like, well, this is so me. But how you can be better, how you can use that particular strengths in situations, how to remember, how to use it.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like a lot of the other like personality tests that we talk about, you know, it gives you a result, it gives you data, it gives you that label, but it doesn't necessarily tell you why or give you an example of, you know, in this situation you would react this way because of this thing in yourself. So it ends up not being as effective. You're just
And another thing is that if we're talking about different other different assessments, that if you take it the second time, you will see different result. But Gallup, they are not recommending taking the assessment like many times in your life. Unless you're experiencing a major change, like, for example, switching from an employee to leader, or when you are transferring from corporate into entrepreneurship. You will see the change, but you will never see your last on the first place. You will see a light shuffle, probably in your top 10, and this is it.
Yeah,
because it's like it's your DNA. It's not your... I told it it's not the label. It's not your personality test. It's who you are.
Yeah, absolutely. I did end up retaking it. I took it the first time probably around 2022, 2023, and then again a few years later. And a lot had changed for me. I had stepped into a leadership role at work. My interpersonal relationships had changed, but regardless, I got the same results because it's who I was. Even though my circumstances had changed, the fabric of my being remained the same. And what I was bringing to the table remained the same as well. Beyond credentials like certifications, what questions should a potential client be asking a coach to assess the blend of industry insight and these advanced coaching techniques so that they find the right match?
And it's kind of a continuation of a question that you ask. Again, if you know what you're looking for, it will be easier for you to find those questions. For example, if you experience some patterns in your life, it's crucial to understand if this particular coach is working with that. Like, okay, if you are, like we mentioned before, if you are repeating the story again and again and you're seeing the pattern, you understand that, yes, it exists, but how to address that? And you can ask that question to the coach. Okay, how are you working with that? How are you addressing the situation? And another thing is that, again, we were talking about the space. And probably it's not the question, but this is how you feel after the first session, which is free. Like so many coaches, they name a discovery session or chemistry session. How did that? How did they? I cannot talk. How they were with you? Yeah, again about the being. How they hold the space for you. What did you feel being with them in that space? Is it safe? Were you able to share something that you wanted And that was free, like you were willing to share that. You were not forced into something, right? Because, well, this is a relationship, this is a dialogue, and client is the one who is setting the agenda. It's like, my clients are saying to me, well, we trust you so much, we're sharing so many things we will never tell our mothers. It's just funny.
Yeah.
And I'm not the therapist.
Right. I don't have those certifications. Yes. I have different ones.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that. But I absolutely think it's true that it's so important to gauge what you need, what you're going into the session looking for, so that if they can't do that for you, that doesn't mean that they're not an effective coach. It just means that they're offering something different.
Probably it's not a good fit for you. And I mentioned before, for example, if you're looking for a combination of coaching and mentoring, you can ask a question. Okay, so I see that you had experience in that industry.
Yeah.
Are you bringing that into your coaching?
Yeah.
And how? Right? Because again, it's about balance. And so many people, they are mixing coaching and mentoring. And I even delivered a workshop, coaching and mentoring, in which situation bringing what. And I did it for coaches so that they are better aware in how to ask yourself a question. So what should I do now with my client? Will this client benefit from coaching or mentoring now? And how to get into that? Because, well, it's about changing hats. Mm-hmm. And you have to be very transparent about that. Like, okay, I see that you probably may benefit from my experience. Can I share something with you and being a mentor with you for this, like 5 minutes?
Right.
And then you're asking, okay, so how does it land with you? Or what are you going to take from that? Mm-hmm. And we still, that we are not just, take it, right? Yeah. We are asking question, okay, what do you think about that? Will that work for you, right? Mm-hmm. So that decision is on them, not on me.
Yeah, that's fascinating. It's almost like a job interview. Like you're asking questions of each other consistently so that you make sure it's the right fit even after the coaching has already started. Mm-hmm.
It's like, I have one client and she asks so many questions. Well, tell me how to do that. And I cannot, and I cannot tell her, well, I cannot tell you. So I'm asking questions like, okay, so why is it so important to get this answer from me?
Yeah.
And then she starts thinking, oh, interesting.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing some of your expertise and insight into coaching and how to utilize your strengths to be as effective as possible. And thank you guys for joining us and for listening. I so appreciate you being here with More. You're certainly not a stranger to the More family at this point.
Yes, and I love what you're doing. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
We will hopefully see you next time on Let's Talk More on Monday, where we dive deeper with another amazing friend of More. And make sure to join us over on Patreon for our masterclass series and our founder series with Ariana. And we will see you next time, guys. Bye-bye.